Hello, good evening, everybody. This is Yonks, and this is our second co-op housing investment club here in Colorado. I'm actually on the wrong tab. That was the agenda from our first one here a couple weeks ago. Let's see when that was. It was back on March the 6th. So very excited here to be joined with Dory. We have Mrs. Yonks, Tyler, and Rosetta joining us from Nashville. So welcome everybody tonight. We've got a lot of agenda, and I'm actually going to share in here. We love the engagement. If you're able to multitask, I'm going to share in the Zoom chat the link to our live stream, and Mrs. Yonks does a great job keeping track of that. So this is, again, Notion. Notion is a tool that we utilize for tracking our agenda and meeting notes. This isn't the only meetup group that Mrs. Yonks and I run, and this is a component of a larger strategy here, Triple Win Foundation. And one of the things that we're very passionate about is creating solutions for affordable housing. The affordable housing crisis is very much a problem here in Denver area. It's really a global affordable housing crisis. And one of the things that we've came to the realization that unfortunately most affordable housing conversations leave the equitable component out. And we believe that cooperative housing is the best vehicle for equitable, affordable housing for most people. And tonight we're going to be talking about creating a solid foundation that will allow us to help renters become owners. And that's one of the things in this co-op housing, rHome. And rHome is a fledgling brand of Triple Win Foundation. I'm not going to go into detail what that means right now, but that's just to provide a little additional backstory as far as what this is, rHome in the title. We also, on our meetup page, I'm not going to show that right now because we do have a lot of agenda. So just wanted to do a real quick introduction. And are you able to help facilitate a round robin introductions here tonight, Tyler?
I would be happy to, with the caveat, we have a 10-month-old who might be saying hello in a very, very loud way. So yes, I'd be happy to. Rosetta, why don't you go ahead and we'd love an intro.
Thank you, Talia. Yes, I'm Rosetta Davis. I'm a real estate agent in the state of Tennessee. I live in Nashville and have served the greater Nashville area for over 15 years. I'm also a certified crypto agent through Proppy and have been a member of the RE Token DAO since I believe July of 2021. And I'm sure we're doing so many wonderful things, and I look forward to just learning more and working with everyone, and invite those who are just tuning in to join us. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks, Rosetta, and thanks for everything you do for Retoken. We love having you on the team. Dory, we'd love a quick intro if you would like to.
Just very interested in housing issues for quite some time now, and want to learn more about how I can support them, cooperative housing, in whatever ways that I can.
Well, super. Well, we're really glad you're here and would love to work with you. I'm Tyler Yonker, aka Mrs. Yonks, one of the co-founders of Retoken, the real estate DAO, and got interested in this whole market in 2018 and 19 when Jason and I were running a series of Airbnbs and realized how many of our guests were actually long-term and marginal and outside the capital stack, and really wanted to provide a solution for them, as well as realizing that for some families, a single family house is the right solution, and some people it isn't. So one of the things that we would love to do with our co-op model is just provide more ways for more people to get equity, build equity, turn renters into owners, and let people who have extra house monetize that, and people that have been outside of the ability to buy, to get them into an equity position and just create community, because it's a lonely world out there. And I think we could all use a few more friends. So that's my passion in affordable housing and what we're doing. And over to you, Jason.
Just had to find the unmute. So yes, and just to add a little additional perspective here, we're actually building a lot of this under Triple Win Foundation, which is 3Win DAO. And a couple people talked about Retoken, the real estate DAO. That's one of the projects that we are the co-founders of. And here we're talking tonight about where renters become owners and cooperative housing. Like one of the things that Mrs. Yonks and I are looking forward to doing again is hosting an Airbnb, sharing our house. Like here in 2022, we've been staying in a 3-bedroom house that's got a nice extra area, and honestly half of the house is empty right now. So like in a 4-bedroom house, we only need 2 of the bedrooms. So that's one of the things that we are really like wanting to provide solutions to, not only reduce our own personal housing costs, but provide opportunities for others to really have a path for equitable home ownership in a lot of desirable areas. Denver, Nashville, the list goes on and on as far as the cost of housing. I was reading an article the other day that said Gen Z, out of all the generations, that's 4 generations that we're talking about. We've got the baby boomers, we've got Gen X, the millennials, and then Gen Z. And Gen Z is expected to pay the highest out of all 4 of those generations for housing. And that's concerning, because I have a baby girl that Mrs. Yonks was talking about in the background. I also have 2 adult kids. And like, that was one of the things that Amy really resonated when she was on a Twitter space last night, is the why, our why, Mrs. Yonks and our why is because of our kids, creating more opportunities for our children. And I'm sure other parents feel that way, but it's not just that. Anyway, that's we can talk about that a long period of time. One of the things, this NFT behind me, I'm not going to spend time talking about that specifically tonight, but that's another one of our fun projects, Token Town, the HOA destroyer. So introductions. Thank you, everybody. Looking forward to really, again, laying a solid foundation. And the vision here is to create a investment club framework, because there are some stipulations as far as what's allowed to operate in an investment club. And that's one of the things that Mrs. Yonks, Tyler and myself have also been had various securities regulations in the past. And she right now is currently going through the process of obtaining her Series 65 securities license. And then like with Retoken, the real estate DAO, we are taking a security token path to market, because one of the things that we like to say, we're utilizing blockchain technology to deliver a lot of this. And this is being like security tokens, for example, not necessarily for the investment club, but like with the real estate tokenization, we are looking to create security tokens. And what does that mean? I like to say that grandma and grandpa money hasn't entered crypto yet, because right now, if grandma loses her seed phrase, the family fortune is gone. And that's where the registered transfer agent comes into play. But that's another topic all day long. Mrs. Yonks and I and others in Retoken are actually building a boot camp to talk about that. And here tonight, the main goal of this investment club is to provide a win-win-win. That's where Triple Win, 3 wins, really comes into play. A win for the investors, anybody that invests in this, whether it's the people in the group or like investors, and then really helping a path for renters to become owners, so that, because when you're talking about accommodations, the people that are living in those accommodations are the primary economic driver. And it seems like that the rental pie and the home ownership continues to shrink. and the rental pie continues to expand. And that's one of the things that we're wanting to do here is provide solutions for that. So we mentioned blockchain technology. So one of the things that we are looking at, and we not only looking at, this is one of the things that we, during our first meetup group, and that's one of the reasons that we do this live streaming format, so that if anybody misses a segment, they're able to watch the replay. I don't think that I've linked that yet here on this one, but I'll be sure to get that done. It's on our YouTube channels, because I think right now this is going to several different channels. But anyway, syndicate.io, we've already deployed, and that's where this, I don't even know if I have it. Oh, right here. RICCO, where renters become owners. This RICCO is the token address, and I'll show what I'm talking about here. Let me actually show if I don't know if I've got that linked over here or not, but anyway, let me go ahead and go, because we created, let me see, I think it's, I'll actually navigate to another profile that I use here. I might have to log in on this one. Let's see, here's the link for that I was wanting. And I'm going to refresh that. So I'll bring that over here. So this is the Co-op Housing Investment Club. And this provides an easier way through technology of tracking buy-in into the investment club. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about. Now, one of the things that we didn't like about this was the transaction cost we felt was a little prohibitive. And that's one of the reasons that we're looking at some other technology solutions. And we'll do some more research in those solutions. Let me actually go there here real quick. So this, and I'm going to go through a lot of different information. And that's what, again, one of the reasons that we love having the replay here is because of going through so quickly with all of the different stuff. Because besides Syndicate, the other one that we're looking to implement is called Tribute DAO. And then the other one is DAO House. And I'll open this right here. So this is basically a task management. And for people that have used tools for task management, Trello is a really good comparison for task management. And this is the Triple Win Foundation. This is a Triple Win Foundation is a Wyoming nonprofit corporation that we are seeking 501c3 status. Now, rHome that we talked about is a brand within this. So the thing that I was wanting to show here is this task that created is we build a platform and blockchain agnostic investment club. So investment club platforms. And again, think of this as software to run our investment club. And that's a good way to put it. Go ahead, Tyler.
I was going to say, if you're not familiar with the word BIDL, it's a crypto thing. It's build misspelled, and basically saying we're going to build a new thing in a different way. It's kind of a crypto culture thing. So when we say things like we BIDL, we're basically saying we're gonna build something in a new way.
Correct. And again, not going to spend a lot of time because the DAO House Club and Tribute, there is a little bit of technical requirements on that, and that's something that we don't have the time to talk about here tonight. So I just wanted to provide a link on that. And if you could, Tyler, share that on our live stream for the benefit as well. And here it was. I don't think I got it. There it is. So if you could share the link to that task on DWorks, and that's, again, we've got more important agenda to talk about, because going back to our other agenda here. Oh, you were having a little bit of background noise there, Tyler, so I muted you. So, showed the investment club framework. So the initial requirements, we're wanting this to be easy for people to buy into the investment club, but we're also wanting it to be an amount, because we're talking about providing a framework where we're going to be buying cooperative housing here in the metro area. So we really feel that $100 a month, and that's kind of what the I100 is talking about, like investing 100, and whether it's $100 a week or $100 a month, we think that that's a buy-in for people. And then again, think of this as kind of like an investment club where we're collectively pooling money to do a down payment on a house or whatever the case may be. Now, we're going to be utilizing a governance because, you know, that's the other benefit of having the framework here, is that there's solid checks and balances. The blockchain technology utilizes a distributed ledger. And we'll talk about some best practices here because we understand that some people might not be familiar with how to do this stuff. And that's one of the things that we will, go ahead, Tyler.
I was going to say we're setting some minimums on this. Legally, we can have 99 investors and $25 million. We actually just had a private investor the other day invest about $24,000 worth of Ethereum. So if you want to come in bigger, you can. We just don't want somebody to say, I want to take up one of the 99 spots, spend $25 one time, never invest again. So that's why we're trying to do something that's minimum, hopefully reasonable for most people's budgets. And if you want to go in bigger, you can, but you don't have to. So that's kind of where we are right now.
Yeah, and on that note too, I saw that Amy joined us on our Zoom here tonight. Welcome. Thank you for hopping on tonight, Amy. Amy is somebody that we've been working with in other organizations. And this is one of the things that wanted to show here. This is actually a multi-sig treasury. And let me actually switch to the one that we created here. Let me actually go to a different profile. Let's see. I'm going to switch to, no, it's on this one. So this is other ones that we manage here. And let me see, this is the one for retoken. That's not the one that I was wanting. I don't know what happened to my friendly names. Normally it has the friendly name. Okay, so this is the one that exists here for the investment club, this one here. And this is something that we set up the other day. And right now, the way that this works on this, and again, think of this as like it's an account, and it's a crypto enabled account. And right now, the owners that we have on this are Tyler, Mrs. Yonks, myself, and Amy is the other person that is the owner on this particular safe. So what does that mean? We have to have 2 out of 3 people. And this is one of the things that we can also put in place as we bring more people on to the investment club. We would definitely want to expand this. And whether it's like 4 out of 6 or 5 out of 7, probably one of those, you get more people than that and it starts becoming herding cats. And just wanted to talk about that because that's one of the things that we are intentional about deploying best practices. And that's one of the things that we're looking forward to having more conversations with other investment club operators here that are utilizing this similar technology for running their investment club. But getting back to the agenda, so the requirements that we're thinking of initially are one of 2 options, $100 a month. And I believe that we can set up this super fluid finance. This is something that we've had some conversations about utilizing. And one of the things that we wanted to do is to minimize the overhead to almost zero. And when we say overhead for running the investment club. So we are going to create a legal entity. We'll talk about that here momentarily, but out of these requirements, this is the first time that you're seeing these, Amy. I wanted to give you the opportunity to chime in your thoughts as far as option A or option B. Option A would be $100 a month, and then the super fluid stream. Option B would be $500 a quarter, and that would be a one-time transaction at $500 a quarter.
I think the monthly is more affordable in my eyes. That's all.
No, absolutely. And that's one of the things that we wanted to put in place here, because this should be easier to set up, because the benefit of this is that we do, we set up do the initial transaction. And to be clear, this isn't a cost. This is actually, and we're, like I said, we're wanting to operate this investment club as a profitable dynamic. We're not going to go into details. One of the strategies that we're going to use to do that, but we're wanting this to be, and I haven't broken down what the anticipated overhead is, but I'm pretty sure that we can run this investment club for less than $20 a month, and having that as far as the parameters. And one of the things too that we want to incorporate, and we're not exactly sure what that will look like yet, is the ability for somebody to step out, and one of the things that's kind of fun in the blockchain sphere, they call it rage quit. So that like, if something goes in the direction that you don't like from an investment club standpoint, you have the ability to leave. Now, the situation is where if the money gets deployed in a property, obviously today there wouldn't be an easy opportunity to divest the interest in the property. One of the things that we're working on longer term basis is to have fractionalized interest through tokens. That's a much longer conversation for another day. But is that something that you feel would be doable from your end, Amy? I know that you have expressed interest, because like one of the initial things that we're looking to acquire is a founding citizen NFT. And one of the things that Tyler already mentioned is that we do have a private investor that we are custodying some digital assets for, that we are going to be acquiring 9 Tokentown, Colorado founding citizen NFTs. And that's what's behind me on the wall here, and we'll not go into details on that right now. But what's your thoughts on that, Amy? Is that a doable number, do you think, for most people?
Say the doable number again.
The 100 a month.
I think, does that cost us any more money to process 100 a month?
Well, so what we would do is we would do the initial, and think of that as like the investment club membership onboarding. And that's one of the things that we'll work on, creating some documentation and some workflow. It will be an investment club membership onboarding dynamic. And again, we want to have that be a no cost situation. We're really wanting to operate this meetup group as a profit center. Not going to go into detail how that we're going to do that here today, but the 100 a month would be like the buy-in, and then the goal, and I don't know how that we'll do that, would be to set up a super fluid finance stream where that 100 a month would be split out on a per second basis. So we would set up basically the initial transaction for the investment club membership onboarding. The second transaction would be that ongoing stream that would represent, how much ever. And again, we don't have that in place yet, but that's the goal, is to make it easy to administrate the investment club here.
Yeah, I think the $100 a month is doable for me, and I guess for most people. But we have to do it like an automatic deduction on a certain day that they show, or however you want to set that up.
And that's something that we'll have to explore. Again, the goal, hopefully, would be to set up this super fluid finance, because the beautiful thing about that is that you just set it up and then it just keeps on running. And it's and again, this is all learning here. We're all learning together, and that's one of the things that we will. Go ahead, Tyler.
I was going to say, one of the benefits of this is, and again, Joey said you're not as much into crypto. Every time you buy or sell something in crypto, there's some associated transaction fees. What we're trying to create is something that is a monthly recurring, but on a blockchain, it looks like a single transaction fee. So we pay the fee once, we don't have to pay it anymore. That's what we're trying to do so that we can have everybody's investments going straight into housing projects and stuff and not paying transaction fees.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, and I just provided the link so that whomever, and if somebody could share that on the live stream. But this is some of the benefit propositions of utilizing this technology, is that will allow us to substantially reduce the overhead and the transactions of setting up an investment club like this. So this is an example of the dashboard here on Polygon. And again, that's something that can do some research offline. We haven't personally set this up for this specific use case. And I believe on like going back to that one task that I was showing people earlier over here, I believe that Dow House Club does have superfluid finance integration already within their investment club platform framework. So one of the other benefits of Dow House Club is that they do have some less expensive from a transaction cost solutions in place there. So again, that's something that we'll take offline. I got to do a little bit more homework myself. And then when we're ready to do a deeper dive on either one of those platforms, Dow House Club or Tribute DAO, we'll schedule a follow-up, and we'll probably have that within the next week on the meetup calendar here as well. And one of the things too that we do, and this is something, Tyler, that we should communicate within our meetup groups, is that we do have a Google Calendar, and this is one of the things that makes it much easier. The reason that we have this is because it makes it easier for Tyler and myself to stay apprised of all the different stuff that we have going on. So like right now, this is the orange little bubble here. It doesn't look quite this pretty when you add the Google Calendar yourself, but this is the one that we're talking about. And this RICO, stands for rHome Investment Club Colorado. Not real creative, I know, but just kind of something to keep like some consistency, because like when we're looking at Tennessee, you know, that would be RICTN, and whether we can do that consistently or not, but just makes it easier to keep track of various investment clubs, because anyway, that's another conversation for another day. So getting back to our agenda here now. So I feel really good about these being some requirements. And again, this is something that we're just getting started here. We want to be flexible, but we also want to have a solid means of acquiring cooperative housing situations. So that would be a great segue into the initial legal structure. Mrs. Yonks and I are very intentional about operating things as compliantly as possible. And one of the things that's great about this syndicate platform, and let me actually go here real quick, because I think that this is, I was looking for something else, but there is a SEC, let me see if I can find that, SEC investment clubs. So here's the publication that I was talking about, investment clubs in the SEC. I'll provide that in the Zoom chat for everybody. And if somebody could throw that on our live stream, that would be great. So this is the parameters that we need to operate within to be compliant from an SEC standpoint. Must not have more than 100 members. So let's actually talk about that. That's one of the great things about this blockchain technology is, and I'll actually add this as far as a to-do here right now, is investment club governance. And let me just bring this into this window over here. So investment club governance. So this is governance, like voting on things. So there's really two ways that looking at doing the investment club governance, one of which is an NFT. And that's, again, what I have behind my head here. And the great thing about this, and I'll actually, let me see if this is the right profile. So Unlock Protocol is a platform that we have used for the Founding Citizen NFT that is behind me here. And that's what we're planning on using. We've used that for other usage case scenarios, and I put in the wrong. Go ahead, Tyler.
Hey, if you're not familiar with NFTs, they're basically a unique digital file. A lot of times they're attached to a picture or a graphic, but they've got unique data on the back end that identifies that file with voting or governance rights or ownership or whatever. So it's something that you can buy or obtain and put in a crypto wallet. And so when you tag your wallet to like an election to say, hey, should we buy 123 Main Street? Everybody who has this NFT in their wallet gets a vote. And if somebody who is outside the club is trying to vote, it'll just block them because they don't have the voting rights in their wallet. So that's what NFTs do, and that's why we use them.
So, and that's a great example here. And it's not just an example. This is actually my wallet here, my wallet, yonks.eth. I utilize MetaMask. MetaMask is very integrated into like Google Chrome, for example. This is the Brave browser I'm using, which is a Google Chrome clone copy. So this is my own dashboard here. And like most recently, this is a NFT ticketed event that hosted here on 2/22, and I'll actually just show this here. So this is my NFT ticket that was created by tokensummit.eth. That's another project that we did, and this is, you can see Retoken the Real Estate DAO. Here's a link to OpenSea. OpenSea is a very large NFT marketplace. So going back to the dashboard here, I'm actually currently connected to our hot wallet that we're going to be utilizing for managing the investment club. And I'm going to go to the dashboard. I'm not going to create this here tonight, but that's something that we'll probably do in a future, probably on our next meetup group, actually. And that's something that we'll look at getting on the schedule here for this coming week, because we are getting out of time for our agenda. But so the great thing about Unlock Protocol, as you can see, they make it a very friendly dashboard. And for us to create this framework that we need for this. So basically we want this NFT. So think of it as like a digital key. And that's why they call it a keychain. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a lock. That's the smart contract that will allow us to create 99 keys. So the NFT is the key to the lock being the investment club. And we'll utilize this NFT, this digital key, to do things such as vote on various proposals that get put forward by our investment club. So that's one of the things that we also utilize from a governance standpoint is snapshot.org. And this is a very easy space. Like, let me actually show a proposal that we just voted on here at Retoken, the real estate DAO that just closed. And this is probably a solution that will.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Oops. My watch thought I said Siri. So this is a proposal that we just created here that just literally closed a couple of hours ago. I'll provide this as a reference for everybody. And this is to open up a bluevine.com checking account. And that's likely similar or the same checking account that we'll utilize to open. It was an absolutely fabulous experience for opening up a business checking account. But we're not far enough along in our investment club foundation to do that yet. But this is just an example. So this one here. 7 people voted on this proposal. And one of the reasons that wanted to talk a little bit about this is that every single member in the investment club has to be actively participating. And that's one of the things that is the requirement, because there can't be anybody passively participating in the investment club. Otherwise, our buy-in for the investment club could be construed as a security. And again, provided some regulations on that. And that's, again, one of the nice things about this syndicate investment club. They have some documents, and that's one of the things that wanted to talk briefly about is e-sign. And we didn't have that on the agenda, but it was one of the things that we spoke about. So again, wanted to, let me bounce real quick back to the planned legal structure. Limited cooperative associations, a huge cooperative fan. Let me actually bring up the Uniform Law Commission so that everybody has uniform. For those that aren't familiar, the Uniform Law Commission is like a big group of attorneys that get together that passes uniform laws. And this is the Limited Cooperative Association. There it is. So this is the summary from, this is a PDF. I don't want the PDF here. So this is the Limited Cooperative Association Act. Colorado is one of a handful of states that have passed the Limited Cooperative Association Act. And this is something that we're wanting to get templated with an attorney like as far as the investment club. And you can see Colorado is one of the states here. Provided the link, that's an opportunity for everybody to do some more research, and I'll actually add that to the agenda as well. But any questions, concerns as far as utilizing the Limited Cooperative Association Act? And this is one of the things that I will do probably offline, but just go through the process showing how to register a limited cooperative association with the Secretary of State here in Colorado. I don't know what the exact cost is, but I'm sure it's $100 or less, and that will be one of the overhead costs for our investment club. But I'm going to stop talking, yield the mic to somebody else now.
So he just covered a lot. Does everything he's saying make sense so far, or do you guys have questions about anything up till now?
I do have a question, if that's okay. This is Amy.
Yeah, go ahead, Amy.
I'm really trying to kind of put the puzzle in. On the investment club, what are we investing to get into the Colorado NFT?
So the initial thought on this is our project, Token Town, which is going to be a neighborhood of homes that have solar panels on the roofs and crypto mines in the basement, and provide hopefully rent offsets or more affordable housing options for renters and then equity options. Our initial investments came in wanting to buy the NFTs of Token Town. If the club wants to buy something else, we can vote on that. But right now, the investors that we have so far have wanted that. So that's what we've been saying, is because that's what's in it right now. If the investment club wants to buy something else, then we can just take a vote on that and buy what we want.
I've heard that you said you have somebody that's planning on buying 9 of those.
Right.
We had an investor come in with 9 Ethereum, and with the intention that we would use that to acquire 9 more founding citizenships of Token Town. And then we've sold 5 of them so far. And so that gives us 14 of 32 total sold.
I remember that, what's his name, mentioned that, what if this thing happened and they overrule everyone with a vote, because that's 9 votes that we are putting in, or he or she is
We could,
putting in, right?
well, we can, well, potentially, but we can have it structured as one person, one vote, or whatever.
On that one specifically, Amy, it's actually being managed by us. So we're doing a digital asset custody. So we're the ones that will be controlling that. And that's one of the things that looking to put in place on this hybrid governance model, like within the investment club, because that's always a concern whenever you've got tokens involved, is a whale can potentially outweigh, decisions on that. So that's one of the things that I'm really feeling confident about these founding citizen NFTs being made, where Tyler and I can have some direction on that conversation, but then also the investment club, because at the end of the day, these 9 founding citizen NFTs are being acquired through this investment club with the intention of helping renters become owners within this investment club. And then think about how that transposes or relates to Token Town. Like the benefits of this founding citizen NFT with Token Town is that the NFT holder will have rights to and like with this initial round 1 of Token Town, Colorado. So 1 out of 32. So imagine us building a neighborhood that just happens to have exactly 32 parcels in it. Each one of these founding citizen NFT holders would have priority to the rights of that parcel. So, and this is again, like one of the reasons that we did 32 is so that we can take the Ethereum, because each one of these founding citizen NFTs are 1 Ethereum, and the goal while we're working towards building Token Town, this next gen neighborhood, is to create a return for those people. So what the main thing here tonight, Amy, is to really like walk through laying a solid foundation for this investment club. And like looking at the agenda, that's one of the reasons that we are looking at some fairly high level stuff. And again, the main goal of this investment club is to really help renters become owners and then provide a path towards tokenizing, because like it would be very easy for us, for example, to tokenize this cooperatively owned situation, like with whatever property that we acquire through the investment club. Did that answer that for you, Amy?
Yeah, I guess if you have the framework wherein nobody can just outvote everyone on the direction where it's going to,
the whale thing is definitely a concern, but realistically, our problem is likely going to be people not voting versus somebody over voting or trying to control the club. It's
that's one of the things that is a requirement of the investment club, is that everybody has to be actively participating in it, in the governance. So like the Token Town NFTs, like that's a different conversation, because that's going to have a different governance model. But like in this investment club, and not exactly sure what it's going to look like here, because one of the things that we're talking about is an NFT ERC 721, 1 of 99, and that's done using Unlock protocol, and this represents investment club membership. So this is going to be one of the aspects of the investment club governance, is the NFT on the Unlock protocol. The other one is the regular buy-in, and that's i.e. $100 a month, for example, will translate into ERC 20 tokens. So like going back to, and this is one of the things that we did already, and let me see, go back to, I believe it's this one right here. So yeah, this is Yonk's team. So this is where we did our initial buy-in with 100 US dollar coins. So that's like a one-to-one dynamic. And one of the reasons that we are looking at some other solutions is because, and I think it was this one right here. Yeah. So this is the reason that we're looking at other solutions is for us to do this buy-in. It cost us this much Ethereum, which is like a $19 transaction fee. So obviously when you're buying in $100 and you have a $19 transaction fee, that doesn't make sense. So that's one of the reasons, again, that we're looking at those other solutions, because this is on Ethereum mainnet, and that's one of the things, again, that wanted to reduce the cost of. So this was done with Yonk's team.eth, and like Tyler showed, or I think that we did on the Gnosis safe here, and that's where we have our multi-sig set up. But does that, so like if we wanted to go in and do another buy-in on this investment club, so we would just go in here and we would say deposit more. So like right now I've got 289 US dollar coins. So if I wanted to add more buy-in, and like right now when you look at this contract here, Amy, so like this is the link to the token. Right now there's only one holders, and Yonk's team owns 100 of 25 million is the max supply on this. So whenever we traded our US dollar coin, we got this. Does that make sense?
I will process that and then I will ask you questions. It's still, I'm trying to tie up. I guess I'm not formulating my question right. So I'm going to read up on it and make sure I ask the right questions. So
yeah, and that's one of the reasons that we're having this conversation is, and let me actually go back to the live agenda here. So I'm going to check all this stuff off, but so what happens here when it, like going back to that window, and that's why again that we're looking at some other solutions for providing the framework is to reduce the to make the transaction cost be almost minuscule.
okay, I guess I walk me through the step-by-step process. Like if I join the investment club and within the end of the year, I've donated or, invested $1,200, right? Because it's $100 a month.
Correct.
What is that $1,200 gonna do for me? Is it gonna be reinvested right away? Is it gonna be tell me the step-by-step process. Like if 10 of
and
us
that's something, Amy, that hasn't been decided yet. So this is like we're building the foundation for this investment club together. Like investment clubs are such, like the thing that's fabulous about investment clubs is that is SEC framework as far as how to compliantly operate an investment club. Now, the thing is that we're applying new technology. We're applying blockchain technology. So we, the founders of this investment club, it's up to us to create whatever the requirements are that we want to operate in while still being compliant with the guidelines that the SEC has put forward.
Okay. So if I'm hearing you correct, the investment club is actually separate from any project. We can put our money in anywhere when we decide where to put our money in.
Yeah, so that absolutely, like that's one of the things, like here, we don't have a snapshot space yet. And that's one of the things that we can actually create And if we wanted to go through and create it right now, I mean, we had an hour allocated, but I'm quite okay to go through, because that's definitely something that, because we've got a token right now. We've got this. So do you want to create our snapshot space tonight?
Yeah, I have another question.
Go ahead, Amy.
So the Colorado, the HOA destroyer governance token, I remember you said that you're gonna allot 1 or 2 slots that could have voting rights for people, fractionalize it for people who can't afford to buy 1 Ethereum. Is
Right.
that still correct?
Yeah, and that's really like one of the things that we have some leeway with. Right now, we've got a private investor that Mrs. Yonks and I, through Yonk's team, are custodying the 9 Ethereum. So that's and the goal there is to acquire 9 Token Town Founding Citizens NFTs, specifically for the Token Town Colorado through this investment club. And that's going to be like, and that's one of the things that we would really like to figure out, because we have the opportunity of potentially selling out. We wanted to give people within the community more time to come in at this first round, because the private investor said that we could take this up to sell out our first round of Token Town Colorado. Does that make sense, Amy?
So
what does the words mean, sell out?
So right now we have a total of 32 tokens available, and they cost 1 Ethereum each. So we had sold 5 of them, so 27 left. And then this investor came and bought, he gave us 9 Ethereum, which will be take us down to 18 left. And so he was considering just buying out the entire round. And then you and some other members had said, hey, I want to come in, but maybe not for 1 ETH, maybe like for 0.1 ETH, which would be something like 250, 300 bucks worth of Ethereum. So we started thinking, before we tell this investor he can buy the round, we want to tell everybody, if you want to come in, but you got to come in here pretty quickly. And so that's where we said, hey, if you want to come in bigger than $100 a month, fine. We just don't want somebody to come in one time for $25 and take up a slot. So $100 a month is going to be the minimum. And
when she's talking slots, that's the 99 investment club members slot. So we can only, within this investment club, have a maximum people actively participating of 99.
Yeah. So the plan is, Amy, is you and everybody else who'd said, I'm thinking about it. You don't have to live in Colorado to get one of these slots. You just have to understand that the parameters of this particular club is going to be around Colorado. So if you want to invest here, do. If you want to wait for the Tennessee club to form, or whatever state you're interested in, that's fine too. The plan right now is to sell out the 99 spots and then start a wait list. And then as people, if people want to get out, they could either sell their slot to somebody else, or they could.
Well, that's again hypothecating. We haven't gotten that far down the conversation. This is again something that we'll put forward the decisions together here and really like operate in a way that everybody is confident and comfortable operating, and learn through this process. Because the goal, like one of the things when we do this, like when we launch Texas and Tennessee and Florida, I already mentioned to Tyler that I want us to personally participate in each of those investment clubs ourselves. So that's one of the things that we anticipate this meetup group to be a profitable meetup group. And so like the overhead, that's a longer conversation as far as all of that. But like right now we're forming the initial, like we don't have the workflow as far as like step one, how to join the investment club. Like that's all stuff that we're building here so that when we go to Texas and Tennessee and Florida, as a step of doing the expansion plans here, that we'll have a blueprint that we're building upon so that we can make this easier each time that we're looking at expanding into a new market.
Yeah, so what you're saying, hold on. What you're saying is the guy or the girl who wanted to invest, who did invest 9 Ethereum, is gonna buy out everything after a certain period of time that either we raise the money to buy some of them or we don't. This person is gonna buy the rest of them. Is that what you call about a buyout?
He
through
he
this
might. I don't know if he
investment
will.
club. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's an opportunity.
So the answer is he may buy it, but I don't know if he's going to or not. He can, but one of the things that it really just depends on how fast we sell the rest of it. If we have enough to sell if we have enough people who want to raise 18 ETH and buy it out with the team, then we'll just tell them to wait for the next one. If we sell 5 ETH, we might ask him to come in for whatever. So we're just trying to figure out how to
keep
give
in mind too that this is something that we're going to be promoting through the blockchain bootcamp webinar as well. So this is something that we're only expecting to amplify from a momentum standpoint. And again, like this limited cooperative association that we're talking about here, as far as the legal structure, that may not be an opportunity in Tennessee. So there in Tennessee, it may make the most sense just to do a normal LLC. So it'll be a slightly different, member agreement. But at the end of the day, that's basically what we're going to be creating is an investment club membership agreement that's got some very we are huge fans of making things very easy for everybody to understand. And we're really wanting this to be a fun learning dynamic here where the goal of the investment club is to really help renters become owners. Like the people that are participating in the investment club, the opportunity of them finding some cooperative housing mates that would where we could build out this cooperative housing NFT. That's kind of the underlying theme here is that through this investment club, the people that are currently renting can collectively pool money where we can help those people buy a down payment, where we can manage this cooperative housing unit and create a perpetual cooperative housing situation where the underlying goal is to really, again, help renters become owners and start them on a path of equity creation there. And with this, like one of the things too, as far as the governance, and I don't know exactly what that'll look like from a weighting standpoint, and that's one of the things that it doesn't have to necessarily be static, but we do want to create a dynamic where it's not quite one person, one vote, because like if somebody's investing 10 or 20 grand, they should have a little bit more of a weightage than somebody that's only invested $100 once, right? So that's one of the things that we're really looking to do with this hybrid governance model.
Okay, we'll learn as we go.
Rosetta, what's that?
I said we'll learn as we go.
Rosetta just asked to become an investment club member today. So absolutely, we would love to have you. That's amazing. So we're so glad to have you on the team. It's fantastic. So Rosetta, we'll connect with you. Or do you want to do this now, Jason, or just want to do this?
Yeah, because that's one of the things that we're really, again, looking to really create a solid like think of it as like an investment club membership onboarding experience, because we want this to be a fun and fabulous experience. And then we also want to create a dynamic where we can copy and paste this when we're looking at launching Texas, Tennessee, and Florida here in April. I fully anticipate that we'll bring those 3 states online in April. And then, you know, whether we bring any more online in April or whether we look at putting them on a timeline for May, but we're going to blow this up here with this blockchain bootcamp for real estate. This is going to be something that we incorporate, and probably we'll even incorporate that into the webinar, like the introducing. But anyway, one of the things, if we want to continue, and I'm going to pause because we do have the opportunity of continuing to go ahead and implement the initial snapshot governance on this. So I'll digress and mute and let everybody chime in some thoughts.
Congratulations, Rosetta. But if you have money for 1 Ethereum, get 1 Ethereum. I'm just joking.
Amazing. That's one of the things that we're pretty excited about. Is the reason why we picked 32, or one of the reasons why we picked 32 at 1 ETH is 32 ETH regardless of the worth, whether it's 32 people or 2 people, it doesn't matter. If you have 32 ETH, you can put together a staking node, and then you can start earning fees on your Ethereum. So one of our hopes was, as we're putting together the investment plan and the strategy, that we can start generating yield for the holders. And that's one of the goals. Is we don't like idle money. We don't want people just parking money with us that we're not earning on. So that's kind of the thought on the 32.
You know, I just understood that. We should have been aggressively selling this if that was our goal.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things. We know that an Ethereum is a pretty high financial barrier, and so again, we didn't want to shut anybody else out. We weren't in a situation to have the structure up until now. Now that we have it, if you want to come in for 0.1, come in. If you want to come in for 1, come in. If you want to come in for like 9, like our other guy did, then whatever. So we just want this to be open to everybody, and we're pretty excited. The whole idea on this is we're going to sell it out as fast as we can, and then and then just get to work. We want to solve affordable housing. We've been talking about it and doing tons of work and research and projects, and we got so much going on, and we just want to just dig in and take this thing to the solution. So pretty excited about that.
And I was actually, I don't know if anybody was watching what I had going on the screen share, but I was actually creating the rHome, and let's actually call this a co-op. Actually, let's just call it Rico right here. Rico, symbol, Rico, and this one's on currently Ethereum mainnet is where this symbol or this network is, and creating this space. This will be the governance space that we utilize here for the investment club here. And this is, again, we are utilizing co.rhome.i100. rHome is where renters become owners, and the i100 is Invest 100. And we've got i100.club. So like the goal here is to set up co.i100.club. And this will be like our club homepage. We don't have this online yet, but this will be our club homepage here for our investment club. And like one of the other things looking at setting up as well, and we talked a little bit about gm.xyz tonight, but this would be another opportunity for us to create our own community. And one of the things here, just thinking out loud, would we want this to be a public investment club as far as the decisions that we're talking about, or do we want this to be a private one? Because that's one of the things that we can make this private on the forum here. or on gm.xyz. I'm kind of thinking it would be better to have it be private. We can take that decision. Go ahead, Tyler.
Well, I was thinking, well, it's blockchain, so it would be public. And then I was thinking, well, if we were thinking about saying, hey, we vote that we're going to go buy 123 Main Street, I don't want somebody to jump ahead of us. So I don't know. I guess we could always start it private and then put whatever we want to be public on YouTube or on a blog or on whatever form we want, I guess.
So check this out. Our space is live. So this is where we're going to set up the governance for our space. So, and let me just add that here to our ongoing agenda. So I'll just add this as a to-do. Setup, setup snapshot.org for investment club governance. So this is one of the things that we got done here today. So those of you go join this if you want to follow the space. And then one of the things too, and let me go ahead, should we go ahead and create this community request? What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, and actually, let's wait, or should we do the unlock protocol?
For the investment club?
Yeah.
Why don't we figure out what we are able to do? Let's. We're already 20 minutes over. Are we good on this, or is everybody good to keep going on this, or do we kind of wrap this up? I know it's pretty late there on the east.
I think since we're here, if you all are not that busy, we could do that.
I mean, I'm fine. Hey, Amy and Rosetta, are you guys in Eastern Time or Central?
We're central.
We're central. We
you're
are
both Central.
neighbors. Rosetta and
Yes.
I are 3 hours away. We need to have coffee sometimes if you drink coffee or tea.
Yes, indeed.
I'm
It's
having this
Memphis and
flashback.
Nashville.
I'm having this flashback to Good Will Hunting where the guy says, "Do you eat caramels?" And he's like, "Let's have it." He's like, "Why would we go having a date where we go eat caramels?" And he says, "Well, why do you have a date we go out and drink coffee?" Like, and they're sitting in this store just eating caramels. It was amazing.
So that I just pasted in the chat is the address for the hot wallet, and I'm just more or less creating this for copy and paste myself because I need to send the hot wallet semantics so that I can create this contract. And this is one of the things that will be a component of the investment club onboarding is to go through. And again, we're going to try to make this as easy as possible. And we'll create some tutorials on this. And again, we're wanting this to be a fun and learning experience that we can replicate. And the goal is probably we won't wait until we have 100 members, but that's one of the things, you know, that we can, it'll be an ongoing work in progress. And a lot of that will just depend on how much momentum that we get. Because my expectation when we really create a solid path that allows renters to become owners in a trusted mechanism, this thing can get some really nice momentum is my guess. So this is something I needed to send semantic. Let me do that here real quick. So I'm sending semantic from yonks.eth to the hot wallet here. And I'm going to send, the great thing about Matic is that not much goes a long way. So I'm just going to send 5 Matic right now. And this is one of the things from an accounting standpoint that we'll do a reimbursement later on low priority because the Matic again is super, super affordable. So I'm going to just do send to this address and put in 5 Matic here. And I'm going to add the add a nickname, and the nickname is co.rhome.i100.eth, and then send on next. And I'm going to bump up the to high because Matic is super affordable. And you can see here max fee. Anyway, it's like pennies, if even that. So we'll just wait for this transaction to confirm, and then we'll go through with the process of creating our. And this is the thing. I'm going to see if I can get it identical to our. Let me see. I don't have it in this tab. Closing out some of these windows. So we'll call it the same thing here. Maybe I should just do it shorter. I don't know. This is what created, and see, because it ran out of room on this. Let me actually see what it links up on Discord here real quick. I don't know if I still have streamer mode on. I'm going to link this up on our live stream chat. I'm going to turn streamer mode on real quick here on Discord. Okay, so this is me trying to do best practices. I'll bring this Discord window up here. Okay, so live stream chat. So here is the full name of the club. And I'll just copy and paste this full line, this first line here. And I think we should have some Matic in here now. Okay, 5 Matic. So now we have some. Let me refresh this and this little bar will go away. Okay, so let's go through the process. This is us creating our very first NFT to represent our membership for the investment club. So let's go ahead, make sure I'm on the hot wallet here. I am, that's where I just set the 5 Matic, create lock. And we're gonna call this investment club, co-op housing investment club in Colorado. And this is the thing here, need to decide on whether we want it to be on Polygon or XDAI. And for now, let's just do on Polygon. Let's change this to 99. Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, I think Polygon makes more sense because the first 5 were on Polygon and it's a little bit different, but
so key duration, let's put this for, I think that we can exchange this or change this later. Let's just go ahead and do 90 days here, because I think we want people to have to at least vote on one proposal over a 90-day period. And again, we don't know what it's going to look like. And I feel a little bad for the person that was on earlier because it was probably very overwhelming. And this is one of the things that when we get some framework in place, because right now we're creating the foundation. Go ahead, Tyler.
Well, I think the legal definition for active participation versus the common definition is pretty different. I think when people think active participants are thinking like weekly meetings and lots of conference calls and things like that. And as far as I know, if you vote all the time when it comes up, which is not going to be that often, then I think you're probably an active participant. Basically, we just need to show that you're engaging in the decision making in some trackable way. And I don't think that there are going to be so many decisions that need to get made that it's going to be a big time commitment.
I absolutely agree. So thank you for putting that in there. But right now, since we're creating this, do we want to, I mean, we can change these numbers later. Like I don't even have anything to denote like be even the NFT because this wasn't even planned agenda. But
would you would you be able to like try both in the testing period and then make recommendations when the time comes after 90 days? Is that something that we can do? Like try Polygon for the 30 days, then try Dye for the next 30 days and see which one is better?
Absolutely. And one of the reasons that we like Polygon is that OpenSea supports Polygon. It doesn't support XDAI. And to be clear, like I would actually prefer this to be a non-transferable NFT. It just has a little bit of a cool thing aspect of being able to link somebody and say, hey, here's my NFT on OpenSea. So that is the value proposition of Polygon. Right now, I'm thinking just put 5matic, and this can be a component of our investor onboarding aspect. And again, we can change this later, but just need something in here to go ahead and create this right now. So everybody good with 5?
Yeah, that's like $7, right? $7, $8, 5matic.
Yeah, it's like less than $10.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and submit, and we can upload the image later to represent the NFT membership of our investment club. But I'm going to go ahead and click on submit. And this is, again, the small transaction fee. This is what I sent 5matic over, and you can see how small that the transaction fee is. One of the reasons that we love building on Polygon is that it is so compatible, and that's one of the things here. And for those that may or may not know, I am a self-confessed screenshot junkie, and that's what I was doing here, was just getting a screenshot for this milestone, our investment club milestone right here. We're creating our membership NFT to represent our investment club. And let's see, where's a good one? This is good enough. Okay, so this is the create lock, and let me see if I can make this bigger here. Anyway, that's good enough. Okay, so a screenshot. And this is what I would say is a great utility case of blockchain technology is investment clubs. So there was, let me go ahead and confirm this. And this process here actually creates the smart contract utilizing unlock protocol. And the goal here again is to set up our investment club at co.i100.club. We're not there yet, but that's something that going to work on doing between now and our next meetup group, because again, we're really wanting this to be an easy experience for onboarding people into the investment club, where we can make it easy for people, but then also easy when we are looking at launching some additional states here in April. And that's one of the things we're putting forward as a proposal now. Texas, Tennessee, and Florida, it's already something that Tyler is talking to on our webinar introducing blockchain bootcamp for real estate. So let's go ahead and refresh this. I think our smart contract should be about done if it's not yet. So this is where we can upload a file. I'm going to just upload a placeholder here real quick. We've got this, and I think I made a new one. Can't remember if it was in this file. Well, I'll just upload the POAP here that we made for tonight. This is something that will change later when we get a more appropriate NFT membership. I might even take the time to do, and this is one of the things that might even create a bounty for on our page. But right now, I'm going to just use this one as a placeholder. This is something that we can, again, change later, but it's fun having a little image here to just represent what we, so let me save this. And we now have our membership NFT on Polygon. And that's one of the things that, and it looks like I've got a transaction to sign. Go ahead.
Do you want me to distribute that POAP for today's commemoration of
Yeah, absolutely.
Our-
This is the POAP for tonight's. Yeah, this is the I'm uploading it here.
Yeah.
This isn't. Yeah, so
it's POAP.
Go.
POAP has been strict on design, so sometimes they would reject it, but I turn around and resubmit it from another email. And I guess it depends on whoever is looking at it. Some of the stuff that they rejected actually goes through after the second and third submission. So I don't give up. I think somebody will have this.
Yeah, and that's something that we can take offline, Amy. I know that that's a frustrating process, and that's one of the reasons that I kind of stepped out of doing that myself previously, was because of that situation occurring. And we could take those conversations offline, because would really like to make the process easier for you as well. But now the opportunity, we've got the NFT membership here, and this is one of the things that we can also incorporate into our strategy over here as far as the settings. And I'll get you added, Tyler and Amy and Rosetta here on this. And this is one of the things that we'll look at doing as far as investment club member onboarding process, because we really want this to be documented, that makes it easy to replicate when we're spinning up additional states. And then my expectation is too, we can have multiple investment clubs, like the ease of creating another one, like this is CO, maybe the next one would be CO2 or something like that. You know, we can do whatever as far as from an expansion standpoint. Doesn't have to be super creative, and to really provide a dynamic that allows renters to become owners, because that's really the underlying goal here, is that we're creating solutions for the equitable, affordable housing crisis. And then we, as members and participants in these investment clubs, can make decisions on how that we're going to deploy the pooled capital. One of which that we already talked about is acquiring, and that's one of the things that we'll do in tandem when we launch a new state, is create a token town framework, so then we can start having some solid conversations for creating the HOA destroyer. But we've covered so much ground tonight. I feel really good about our meetup and what we got done as far as really bringing a more well-rounded solution for the affordable housing crisis. But I'm going to stop talking and let anybody chime in some final thoughts. I don't think that there was anything else that could possibly get done tonight. The Unlocked Protocol membership was just bonus.
Congratulations, everybody. This is fantastic. I am so happy to have you guys on board. And this has just been so long coming. So just seeing it happen is just really, really exciting.
I agree. This is something we can scratch off our roadmap now.
That being said, Amy, I think it's, go ahead, Rosetta.
No, I was just agreeing that it was great, and for you to go through step by step was very helpful.
And this is we're just getting started with this stuff, and the more that we do it, and like, you know, when we do the next investment club, we might take what we learned from here and it'll be that much easier. And then like collaborating with other investment club operators and really just providing a framework to be truly like community owned and operated is the big opportunity that we have.
There was somebody
Absolutely.
there was somebody in Clubhouse, I think today or yesterday. They have an investment club, and what they did was they have a mother investment club with baby investment clubs. That's their structure.
And that's absolutely, like, you know, because the ability for us to operate through a network effect, because there's not any parameters that say that you can't have, that you can only have one investment club. The opportunity of us having hundreds of investment clubs globally and collectively working together to really change the narrative in some of these communities is the big opportunity at hand. All right. Well, and I'll figure out some of this investment club governance standpoint. Like one of the things to do here is to create and that's actually something that I'm going to add as the next action here is set up WordPress multi-site on i100.club. And create, one other thing that we didn't do that we can still do is go here to gm.xyz and create the community, because I thought that would be really, really fun, because now we have the token. Actually, let's curb that. I want to take that offline because I want to go through the process of getting the founding member, investment club member here, and then we'll create a process on doing that, and then we'll save that for next week's meetup, or the next meetup that we have is creating the community. And if I decide to do it offline, might do it offline, or I might wrap that up anyway. Kind of rambling here. Had a lot of stuff going on today. Wanted to again praise Tyler for the amazing job that she did on the Blockchain Bootcamp webinar earlier today. I'll provide a link so that everybody can take a look at that on the replay, because this is something that we are going to get absolutely fabulous at here in 2022, is obtaining feedback from you, our community, on how we can do a better job and make things easier for you so that you can be amazing, whether it's real estate professionals or real estate investors, or helping renters become owners. That's really the three things that we're talking to at this Blockchain Bootcamp for real estate too. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking. It's been a long day. It's very much beer 30 for me. So anyway, it's been great hanging out with you all tonight.
Thanks, everybody. See you soon.
Thank you. Amy, could
Thank
you and I get together offline as well with Mrs. Youngs? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Tyler, can you send me the link of your video webinar or whatever that was? And I also haven't gotten my link, I think.
Oh yeah, one thing I was going to ask you, Amy, too, is, and this is for you as well, Rosetta. We created a new process here in Start Here, and the Discord is going to be getting revamped, but we added this new guild.xyz bot. And if you click on this button, it should go through the process of joining, and it will provide some new roles. One of which is that we started having some conversations for people in a channel for those that hold 500 retoken or more, and definitely want you in those conversations, Amy, and hopefully soon Rosetta will get you up in that 500 retoken threshold. And that's one of the things that we're still working on getting better at, is the tokenomics and the distribution of retoken for everybody.
Looking forward to it.
Sounds
Thank
Yeah, we'll
you
get
very
that done.
much. Thank you, Jason. Thank you,
Thank
Tyler,
you.
for all your hard work. Rosetta, I love you. You know that. So y'all have a good night.
We'll see you guys soon.
When we have this much fun, it's hard to call it work, but thank you for the praise. And that's one of the things that we will get better at too, is publicly praising everybody and Anyway, both of you ladies have a wonderful night.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Good night.